All right, folks, the NFL season is coming fast. We are now under 40 days until football, and we can feel it. It is coming fast, and it will be here before we know it. And it is time for me to go through my 10 favorite games of the football season this year. So I'm going to start off with number 10, Week 1, Sunday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. It is crazy to me that these two teams play in Week 1. These are two of the three best quarterbacks in the NFL, and rematch from the playoffs last year. And these two could be playing in the playoffs again, and this game will go a long ways to deciding who gets that game at home. And I think both teams would desperately like to have that game at home if it comes to that. So I think this is an enormous game right away in the season. Number 2. Week 2, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Rematch from last year's Super Bowl. A good chance Rashid Rice is suspended for this game, so the Chiefs might be without their best wide receiver. And the Chiefs' schedule is really front-loaded. In my opinion, 4 of their top 6 games, or 4 of their toughest 6 games, occur in the first 6 weeks. So they have a really tough schedule those first 6 weeks. Then it lightens up a little bit. They do have the Bills later in the season, but their schedule is really top heavy. And if you look through it, they have a pretty tough first third of the season, and they're going to have to get a couple of those big games early on. Number 3. Detroit Lions at Baltimore Ravens Week 3. Starting in Week 3, the Lions have a stretch of at the Ravens, home versus the Browns, at the Bengals, at Kansas City, and home versus the Bucks before a bye. That's a 4 playoff teams in a 5-week stretch before a bye. Pretty tough stretch there for the Lions, but at my 8th best game of the season, I've got the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. Number 7, Black Friday, Chicago Bears at the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Black Friday is a great day to watch football. We're all coming off the Thanksgiving holiday. We're all kind of sitting around not wondering what to do. For those of us who don't shop, we have huge expectation for the Bears, but I think the biggest question mark right now in the NFL is Caleb Williams. We have huge expectations coming out of college. Last year was pretty underwhelming. This year he's got a much improved offensive line. I'm really looking for huge improvements out of Caleb Williams, and I am excited to see what he can do against the Philadelphia Eagles on Black Friday. Number 6, Week 18, Packers at Vikings. Every year there's one game in Week 18 that determines someone's playoff future, if they get in or if they get out. I was looking through the schedule in Week 18, and I think this is the one game that really stuck out to me as a game that could be for a playoff spot. I think there's only one room for one of these two teams in the playoffs right now. I think Jordan Love has kind of been a little bit underwhelming last year after a great year the previous year. And right now, the Vikings, to me, their roster is loaded, but we really have no idea what they have at quarterback. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they fare this year with the rookie quarterback who, really we don't know what to expect as of right now. Number 5. Week 10, Rams at 49ers. I think the 49ers will have a huge comeback season, mostly due to having the easiest schedule in the NFL. Last year, the Rams were a snowstorm and a fumble away from beating the Eagles, and looking back at that, I think if they would have beaten the Eagles, I think there's a very good chance they would have won the Super Bowl. I think these two teams will battle all year for the NFC West Championship, and I think this game will go a long ways in deciding that. Number 4, Week 1, Aaron Rodgers returns to his old stomping grounds to face the Jets. I believe this is going to be Aaron Rodgers last year without a doubt. And I think this has a chance to go very poorly very quickly. And I think we're going to know right away how this is going to look because the Jets have a pretty solid defense. They don't have much on offense right now. Justin Fields is their starting quarterback. He already got injured once in the camp. And I think we'll know right away how Aaron Rodgers is going to look this year. I think it's going to end horribly for him. I don't think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs, but it'll be interesting to watch him go back and play at the Jets. Number 3, Thanksgiving Day, Bengals at the Ravens. Thanksgiving to me is and always will be the best day of the year to watch football, and the NFL gave us the best slate of games on Thanksgiving that we've had in about a decade. I think the slate is absolutely loaded, and the nightcap that night is the Bengals at the Ravens. Bengals, to me, right now, are the toughest team in the NFL to judge on where they're going to fall. They have a loaded offense, but their defense is very poor, and right now their best defensive player is holding out. He is not in camp, and I don't expect him to report to camp or to the team until he gets a new deal, which looks like they're pretty far apart. So I'm really interested to see what the Bengals do this year with that explosive offense, but really nothing on defense. Number 2, Saturday, August 30th, Texas travels to Columbus to play Ohio State. Preseason 1 versus 4. Now, this is the only college game on the list right now, but a reason for that. There are already rumors out there that Arch Manning is going number 1 in the upcoming draft and that Nick Saban might be following him. That's all rumors. We have no data behind that. But Arch Manning has only started 1 game. This is a really tough spot for him to start his 2nd game ever, traveling to Columbus and at Ohio State against the number 4 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes in his 1st game of the season. I think we'll know really early on if Arch is the real deal or if he's been overhyped a little bit. So I am jacked to see this game. This game we are only about 33 days away from. It's going to be exciting and the first real weekend of college football outside of week 0. And then number 1, week 9, Chiefs at the Bills. This will be a 3:25 game. You'll have Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call. Every year, the Bills and Chiefs are the best game of the year. And to be honest, I don't think there's anything that can happen in this game that'll change my mind on these two when it comes to the playoffs. The Chiefs now, with Patrick Mahomes, are 4-0 against the Bills in the playoffs, but 3 of those games have been at Arrowhead. They've only really had 1 chance at them in the playoffs at Buffalo. So if Buffalo really wants this game to get that playoff game in Buffalo and at home, and I think this game will go a long ways to deciding where that game takes place, if it does take place in the playoffs. So that to me is my number 1 game of the 2025 season. I would love to hear your thoughts, and we'll talk to everyone later.